Good afternoon, evening, whenever you see this, my loves. For those of you that are new to my page or my channel, hi, my name is Symphony Thompson, and I am a self-care coach that helps millennials create more intentional and holistic self-care routines to aid them on their journey. And today is Thankful Thursday. And I was sitting here thinking, like, some days I just like to drive and sit outside and listen to nature or whatever. And I was thinking today about the love circle, and for the longest I was beating myself up about I had two more episodes left or whatever to do for this season. And then one day, me and my bestie, shout out to Tanea Lonnie, we was talking, and she was like, what if the season is done? Like, what if we did what we were supposed to do for this season? And I was like, you know what? Something was telling me that for the longest, but also me being a perfectionist and feeling like things have to go the way that they, like, once I wrote it down or once I scheduled it out, like, I feel like it has to go that way. So, and the crazy thing is, a big part of my journey lately has been letting go or surrendering or whatever. So I had to really talk myself into understanding that it's okay to, when you know something is done, it's okay to be done with it. It's okay, even if you scripted it and it was all perfect, and you had this big grand scheme plan, and you had point A to point G ready, but you actually needed A to C. Like, take that as like a plus, not all the time you have to do all the steps. You got to do all the things in order for you to reap the benefit of whatever the end result is supposed to be. The ultimate goal was getting the end result, not necessarily holding so tightly to the vision of everything, right? Learning to let go and understand that, yes, this is the vision, but it's not always going to go the way that we envision it. Crazy, right? So, like I was saying, I was sitting here and I was driving and I just parked or whatever. And one of the episodes was on millennial peace, right? And for the longest, I was trying to figure out what millennial peace is. And the crazy thing is about my journey, like, when I first started Faded Beauty, over the course of time, I had to change what the meaning of being a faded beauty was, right? Like, as my journey changed, as I learned different things, the definition of what a faded beauty meant changed too. What the seeing other faded beauties out in the world operate and maneuver through life helped me to get a better understanding of what the vision of faded beauty was, right? Be a part of your own rescue. Like, that was just it started with me wanting to do, like, investing back into myself, being a part of my own rescue, showing up for myself, and then ultimately teaching other people how to show up for themselves, and then us collectively teaching the world how to show up for themselves. Like, that's what it was. Like, that's what it grew into. So when I'm thinking about what millennial peace meant, I was fighting with what peace actually was, because when you look at the world now, my definition of what peace is, like, my ex used to tell me I live a fairy tale life. And I mean, people might think that, but the way I envision us is, like, I always say that I have good faith that we will all do the right thing, right? And over the years, some people have really taught me that you shouldn't have good faith in people to do the right thing. People just genuinely don't want to do the right thing in most situations, and you have to come to terms with that, right? And that kind of like made me guard my heart, because I realized like a lot of people really don't have good intentions. No matter how good my intentions are, how much I lead with love and operate out of a space of love and sharing and giving and honoring one another, not everybody shares that same space in their heart. Like, not everyone is that open minded or open hearted, right? So when I'm thinking about what millennial peace looks like, I'm looking at what it looks like from the outside point of view. Like, I don't watch the news because there's so much stuff going on, and it actually breaks my heart. Like, I can't watch certain things, I can't listen to certain things, because I will hold that stuff in and internalize it, and I'll get emotionally frustrated or mentally overworked and overwhelmed, and I can't consume that stuff. So when I'm thinking about millennial peace, it's kind of my vision of what it's supposed to be is kind of, I don't know, it needs to be tweaked in some kind of way. So I'm sitting here for months trying to figure out like what millennial peace means. What does it look like? Like, paying more attention, because my degree's in biology, but had I not taken so many biology classes or like science related classes, and I figured out psychology was my first interest, then I would have definitely been a psychology major or a behavior analysis or whatever. Because over the course of years, I've realized how much I started to analyze myself and how aware I've become of my thoughts and my feelings and my actions and how I move in this world and how I show up in spaces. But I've also become more cognizant of how other people show up in spaces, like how people talk to you through action. Like, not everything is verbal. Sometimes it's the movement, it's the demeanor, sometimes it's the inflection on whatever somebody is talking about. So you have to learn how to really hone in on all aspects of people, especially if it's somebody that you say that you love, whether it's friend, family, or partner. Like, you literally have to be able to show up for that person in the ways that they need you to, and not the way that you want to show up in their life, right? But you can only do that if you do that inner work and you overstand what it means to show up for yourself, right? So I'm trying to figure out, like, after analyzing myself, after analyzing like those people around me, like, what does millennial peace look like for us all collectively, right? And I'm thinking, like I said, it's been months. I'm going, my mind is rambling, trying to figure out ideas, trying to figure out what the concept of millennial peace is. And it dawns on me that the whole point of this self-care movement, the whole point of be a part of your own rescue, is for you to realize that you are worthy, that you have something in you, your voice, your talent, your creativity, your energy, whatever it is that you offer, like your perspective, it's needed in this world. And that made me think, like, that's really unconventional or unconventional. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's unconventional thinking, because when you think about how we're taught to show up, which is, this is what was so hard when I first quit my job and I decided to go into Faded Beauty 100%. Because we have been taught that the only way for you to be successful is if you have a 9 to 5. The only way for you to be successful is if you get that degree. And over the years, I've learned that there are people that actually are as successful as I'm striving to be, as you are striving to be, and they don't have a degree. They don't have certifications. They don't have the money. They don't have the influence. And this is something that I've always tried to tell myself, like, even from a young age when I was watching TV and I was like, oh, dang, I can't wait to just eat food for free and just travel, man. Oh, dang, I can't wait to be on this platform speaking. Like, when from a young age, when I saw these people and they were motivating me, and I was thinking about these people that were writing books, and I was like, dang, man, I can't wait for people to be reading my book. I can't wait for people to be reading my story, my poems. Like, I always had to tell myself that we all have it in us to be where that person is, to do what that person does that's inspiring us. We all have it in us. But the only difference is they started sooner than we did. They asked the right questions before we did. They showed up in the right spaces before we did. They were born before us. Like, we can never compare ourselves to another person. So when we think about what millennial peace is, I realize that millennial peace is us actually showing up in spaces as ourselves unapologetically. That means me standing firm on my no, and me standing firm on my yes, and me showing up in spaces, and me standing on the things that I believe in or the things that I don't believe in, and me voicing my opinion even when it feels wrong, or me removing myself from places when it goes against my beliefs or it makes me feel uncomfortable and it's not honoring who I am and who I'm trying to show up as and what my mission is. That means you choosing yourself in everything. That's what millennial peace is. And I'm realizing a lot of us are unearthing or unrooting a lot of things that no longer serve us. And in doing those things, we are realizing that for as long as we thought that we were operating in ourself or in our purpose, most of the things that we were doing were for other people, and it wasn't even something that was filling us. Like, so a lot of millennials are trying to get back to what gives them that peace. And that's why I said it took me so long to figure out what this topic about millennial peace is, because I thought that peace was us showing up out in the space, out in life, out in the world. But I'm realizing that millennial peace is us stepping up for ourselves, us choosing ourselves, us owning who we are, the power that we have in being ourselves. Like, that's where the true peace lies. And I realize how many people are waking up to themselves, like, and it's beautiful. Like, understanding that your voice, your body, your ideas have a meaning. Like, your life has a meaning, and it's not even just a meaning for you to serve other people. Yes, our goal in life is to serve others, but how are you serving yourself? How are you showing up for yourself daily? How are you loving on yourself? Like, that's what this self-care movement is about. Like, showing people how to love you because you loved you first. Figuring out what your peace is, removing those things that don't bring you peace. If it's a job that's stressing you out and you can't function and that's not where you want to be anymore, then what is your peace? Like, I always say, create a space worthy of your creation. And I know that sounds like a building or a business or something like that, but I believe that creating a space is within your temple. Like, how are you feeding your physical body? How are you loving on yourself? Which is why I always talk about mental self-care, physical self-care, emotional self-care, and spiritual self-care, because how are you feeding into your flower daily? Like, it's not just oh, today I choose me because I got time today. No, because if you keep running, and you're not getting enough sleep, because people say, oh, you don't need 8 hours of sleep, and then your body crashes because you've been pushing, going hard, going to work, serving all these other people, and you haven't taken the time out to love on yourself and go to sleep and take time to rest. Like, how are you really, how it, like, that is that showing people that you want to get ran over? Like, you don't want to invest in yourself. It's okay for me to keep going and doing for you because I'll be okay. Like, that's what we've been teaching each other, that I'll be okay, I'll figure me out. As long as you okay, we'll be okay. But what if you focus in, what if you focus in on yourself? What if you say, today is not the day for me to do this. I'm going to push this off until tomorrow. I'm going to reschedule this meeting for tomorrow because I'm not in the mental space for this. I'm not emotionally there today. Like, I haven't, or not even that, like, I'm not even physically prepared to do this because I haven't been catering to my physical needs. Like, I've been sitting in the house, and I'm talking to myself now. Like, I've been sitting in the house cooped up, and when the last time have you exercised? It's only supposed to be 30 minutes of the day, but how many days have you actually put in 30 minutes? Like, how many days have you consciously said, you know what, I'm going to do this 30 minutes today because I need to, and not because your body forced you to, right? Like, all of those things collectively. And I don't know if I went on a rampage or a tangent or whatever, but let me know if y'all understand where I'm coming from. I just think that millennial peace is a collection or a collage of things. It's finding out, like, what we actually want to do in life, what we actually want to do in love, what we actually want to do as a career, and not just because it brings us money, but it fulfills us, because that's where the real wealth, that's where the real abundance and prosperity comes in. Like, what am I doing that fills me so that I can be financially secured? Like, that's really what I've realized millennial peace is. And I really want us to start having conversations about this. So please comment, like, DM me, whatever you need to do. Like, let's make this a discussion, because y'all have a lot of good ideas, and I don't want to just it be me creating dialogue by myself, because I want to know what y'all's needs are. I want to know, like, what you need help with as far as self-care and choosing the right self-care routine for yourselves, and what does that look like, because not every day is your self-care routine going to be the same. Today it might be catering to your emotional needs, and tomorrow it might be you being more physical, or you operating in your spiritual. And, like, you never know. So just let me know what y'all want to talk about. Like, create a dialogue and then invite me to it. Whatever y'all got, like, invite me to your podcast. Invite me to, like, your Facebook groups or whatever. If somebody has a conversation or something, tag me in the post. Like, let's share knowledge. Let's have these conversations. Let's create that space so that we can have these conversations, because a lot of this stuff is not being talked about. And especially us talking about millennial peace, like, I want to know what y'all's ideas and perspectives are about what millennial peace is, because I might be going far left, or I might be, like, dead center on what you all are thinking, and we can just have a whole conversation, a whole dialogue, and share a space off of this. So I just want y'all to, like, comment, like I said, share this, I don't know. Like, let's just talk about this. As always, I want y'all to be dope, do great things, do dope things, show up in this world unapologetically, loving on yourself, sharing your light, your truth, your word. Just be you. Be a part of your own rescue. I love y'all.